Let them lose you. Let them sleep on your worth. Let them believe that they can find someone better, because in due time, they will realize that they made a mistake, and it will be just enough time for you to accept that you are better off without them.
That is a terrible way to cope with getting rejected. I'm sure the guy moved on from her because he found somebody better.
Facts.
I'm going through a breakup right now, and today I felt a new layer of grief. I literally just sat in my car and cried and cried and cried and felt sick to my stomach after going through my ex's new following, which, by the way, don't recommend stalking your ex on Instagram. I do feel like breakups are tough because it's like an addiction, and when you completely go cold turkey, which I think is obviously the best thing, no contact, which we haven't had, but it's almost like I need those like little pieces.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
If you are single, like on the dating apps, you know, chatting around, I would love to invite you to join in on this inside joke that me and my friend have, and it really gets us through the dark times of dating. So when someone stops answering us, like they don't answer to a message on an app, or they just like don't follow up after a date, we just assume that they're dead. So if my friend were to text me and be like, oh yeah, this guy didn't answer, I wouldn't say like, oh, don't worry, he will, or like whatever, his loss. No, he's dead. I'll say, oh my God, I feel so bad for his friends and family, like gone too soon. I cannot believe that he passed away. And we will carry that out the whole time. And sometimes you find out that you thought they were dead and they were only in a coma. And then we'll talk about what a miraculous recovery they made. But usually it's like, they're dead. RIP. Just remember, there's no other reasonable explanation why they would stop answering you, because you are great, whoever you are. So I'm so sorry that they died.
Delusion is definitely women's speciality these days. Anything to avoid looking at their own flaws or to take accountability. They just lie to themselves and also lie to each other.
They do this all the time.
So this is why we can't trust men, because about a week and a half ago, I was on this dating app called Raya. I'm just like having fun, whatever. I see this cute guy. I'm like, wow, okay. Follow him on Instagram, DM him, because I'm like, girl's gotta shoot her shot. I think he's cute, like whatever. I'm playing it sort of casual. I'm like, I'm actually going to be in LA because I see he's from California, but like not LA. So he's like, oh, actually, I was planning on seeing some of my friends soon. I'm going to drive up. I'm like, hey, bet. Like, wow, this kid wants to make a plan with me. So he gets here. He lets me know he's here. I let him know my plans. He lets me know his. The whole day, he's kind of just like giving me a play-by-play of what's going on. And he mentioned once like, oh, like let's go to dinner, because I asked him what he wants to do. And then he was like, and if I'm like not done in time, maybe I'll just bring you food to your hotel. I'm like, red fucking flag. No, no, no. Like, first of all, you're a stranger. Stranger fucking danger. You're not coming to my hotel room. Second, what? So anyways, long story short, he ends up being like later that night, hey, I'm just going to come bring you food to your hotel. I'm like, nope, that's okay. Like kind of made up an excuse because I didn't want to be a dick, but I just felt something was off. So I'm like, let me know what you're doing tomorrow. Like maybe if you're around, we could do something then. I have a photo shoot the next day. I go to the photo shoot. The company I'm working with, one of the girls, I'm friends with her who works for the company. We're chit-chatting it up. She's like, how's the boy drama? Like, what's going on? I tell her about this kid. This kid doesn't have a fucking common name. So we see the name and her eyes are like, and I look at her and I'm like, oh no, what? She's like, there's this kid who drove up to LA, said that he wants to hang out with me, visiting his friends, and they have the same name. Like, that shit don't add up. So now I pull up like his Instagram and I show it to her and she's like, I found this kid on TikTok. I'm like, mic drop. She's like, he was literally texting me yesterday asking to hang out with me. At the same time, he was texting me. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So like, imagine he went and grabbed lunch with her and hung out with her and then like grabbed dinner with me. Like, mans is, I mean, listen, fucking bravo, props to you. Like, do what you gotta do, but I want nothing to fucking do with that. So ladies, moral of the story, always trust your gut, never trust fucking men.
What a surprise. These women are all chasing after the top 10% of men, and they wonder why they were talking to exactly the same guy. When are these 304s ever going to learn?
Some people she will never
weirdest situation happened to me. So I started talking to this guy last week, and he asked me out, and this past weekend I was out of town. So I was like, you know, like, this weekend won't work, but how about the weekend after? And he was like, yeah, definitely. And I was like, you know, like, I'm not big on small talk, so how about, like, we just set plans and I'll see you then. Well, he ended up texting me like a couple days later, and he was like, hey, like, does this blah, blah, blah work? And I was like, yeah, of course. He was like, I honestly just wanted an excuse to text you. And I was like, okay, like, cute. And after that, we just, like, kept on talking consistently for like 4 days. And it was super, guys, I thought it was going so well. Like, you know, when you're talking to someone and it feels forced, and like you're trying to have something to talk about, that's like literally what I hate. And it didn't feel like that at all. Like, literally at all. Like, we were really hitting it off and we had a lot in common. So then yesterday he texts me and says how he's not feeling so good. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So later in the day I text him and I'm like, how are you feeling? He goes, I'm feeling a lot better. You're so sweet for asking. And me joking around, literally just joking around, because that's like my personality, I was like, yeah, I gotta make sure that you're feeling better for Saturday, because if you think you're gonna get out of it, you're sadly mistaken. Guys, this man, listen, and I genuinely think he's I don't think he did anything wrong here. Nothing wrong. He doesn't owe me anything, right? But it's just so confusing, and I have my theories, but I would love to hear what you guys think. Because if we all kind of like come to the same conclusion, I'll be like, oh, I was right. But he ends up saying, sadly, I've been thinking that I need to be single. I have a lot going on. I know you'll understand. And at this point, I'm like, he has to be kidding. Right? Because it's like we both have like sarcastic sense of humor, and I thought it was a joke, but I was like, he might not be kidding. So I was like, for sure, like, we could always be friends. He goes, yeah, I could always use a friend, you. And I was like, yeah, of course. And he just loved it. He wasn't kidding, guys.
She tried to demonstrate controlling behavior by saying,
if you think you're going to get out of our date, you're sadly mistaken.
Any guy would have been wise to run a mile after that. Then she thought the guy was joking when he friend-zoned her. She tried to play along and it backfired.
She failed.